Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Total War Rome 2. Once again, we've got a pro versus noob scenario. We've got one pro on defense, and he's taking on 4 noobs. Now, I'm going to do some slow motion here because this is about to pick up. Now, this is going to be very, very challenging. Also, we have an interesting faction here that the pro is playing as. So he's actually playing as Saxony, which is a DLC faction for the Empire Divided DLC. So it's going to be interesting to see. I don't know much about this faction. I rarely play the DLC factions, but it seems like they are an infantry heavy barbarian faction. So I'm sure he's going to try to use the I mean, I'm going to say numbers, but he's taking on a such larger force that numbers, I think what I'm trying to say here, because words are hard, he is able to build a moderately sized army for a decent price. I think that he's trying to have enough men to hold back this huge attacking force. But really quick, let's look at the noobs here. So we've got Macedon, Nabatea, the Armenians, and then we have Saba here on the battlefield. So they're all bringing a lot of troops. I think they were allowed max 2 pikes, max 3 archers, and we have 2, 4, 8 plus wall artillery for the defender. What that means is 2 pikes. He was allowed 4 archers, if I'm not mistaken, and 8 max of 1 type of unit, or 1 unit type. Here's his army, and I'm going to show you this really quick because the forces are about to clash. And here we go, the first clash of the battle. So the attackers actually taking out the wall artillery with their very own artillery and opening up the walls as well to make a breach point. He does have some light melee infantry cycle charging. This is going to be an insane amount of micro, guys. An insane amount. Now we've got archers up on the front here who's supporting, Germanic archers supporting the infantry, trying to protect them. I feel like archers are going to be a big thing he needs to take out because his infantry might be a little vulnerable to the, the skirmish capability. Words are hard. Skirmish capability of the elite Persian archers. There we go. My goodness. He also has his infantry up close here. So this is the Cardali Axemen. I'm probably butchering that name. But yeah, he's got them up close, throwing some javies. I don't know if any of these shots are hitting. Maybe some, but they're wasting their shots. We got some slingers up in the front too. The infantry battle still raging on as this Germanic infantry continues the cycle charge to get that charge bonus. But this is definitely more of the cheaper troops in his roster. He's definitely holding back more of the elite troops back here. The armored Germanic swords. Look at these guys. So now he's moving them forward because we do have some siege towers making their way from Saba. Nabatea is also making their way towards the breach point, and they have their towers. And of course, we've got Macedon over here. The micro. This is going to be the biggest challenge for this pro, is the micro. It is going to be very, very intense. He's got to lock in. He's got to lock in. Now, he is going to sally out some infantry as we speak through the gate. He's got some raiders. These guys look pretty cool. He's got some raiders here. They're going to charge out and stop. That was kind of a waste of ammo there, but he's going to stop the ram in its tracks, which is just going to buy him more time. And he is getting these Thurio spears in a close combat, which is good because if you don't know, Thurio spears have a lot of skirmish capabilities. So if you can close in and kill them before they can use any of that skirmish ammo, that's huge. That's huge, especially when you're so heavily outnumbered. So the arrow towers supporting that infantry too. Now we've got infantry from Macedon closing in. Hoplites marching forward to go support their Thurio spears up in the front. Let's go back over to this main fight where the breach is, where the Armenians, you know, they're trying. They're certainly getting more and more troops in this breach, but I think this is playing right to the strengths of the pro. He's really got this fight isolated. It's a small area. He's cycle charging constantly. So I think this is going pretty decently well for Saxony, for the, the pro player. So pretty great so far. Nice little struggle going on here. He's just got to keep it up. And he also needs to make sure that he silences these skirmishers of the attackers. If he loses the skirmish battle, he's going to be in big trouble. But you can see, look at all this infantry. And we've got artillery up on the walls here. This is a Scorpion. We can zoom in here, please. There we go. A German Scorpion has yet to be used, but I'm sure he's going to use it a little bit later once the enemy gets a little bit further into the settlement. But here comes Macedon. They are now scaling the walls. Foot companions, thorax swordsmen, really solid infantry, and that's probably why we're seeing the armored Germanic swords try to halt these forces where they stand. So there he goes. He's holding them back. Now more infantry's closing in for the Germanic Saxony. Let's see, are they gonna go? Are they not going to charge? I guess they're going to hold back and wait a little bit. It looks like most of their attention is on the front right here. You know, what they could do, the defenders that is, the pro player, he could get some archers on this side. Oh, wait. Oh, here we go. He's got some hurlers, some slingers. A rain of snows can lead to rash decisions. So, yeah, he's got some hurlers. That could, oh yeah, get those pikes, and he's gonna charge the pikes because, oh, he just didn't get there in time. Look at, we got Vercingetorix over here. This looks like him. I like the winged helmet there. But yeah, smart move to disengage. No need to fight there. You're playing to the strength of those pikes. Get those hurlers. Why can't you get the hurlers to start hurling and going after the foot companions? But more and more infantry. He's got more slingers up on the walls here. The infantry that sallied out to stop the ram was destroyed, defeated. They're breaking, fleeing the battlefield, and now they can push this ram over to destroy the gate. They're gonna need more infantry here to hold this. Let's head back over to the center where a lot of juicy fighting is happening. Saba, the Armenians, they're all starting to rush in. The Armenians, though, they've pretty much lost most of their army. I feel like if the fight stays in this small area, then the pro can win. Because he's got it all contained. He just needs to make sure he's cycle charge, which it looks like he is. Just keep on cycle charging to get that charge bonus. It's gonna be, it's a grind. It is gonna be a grind. But the balance of power is starting to shift too, a little bit in favor of the pro. Not like in favor, but more so in favor than before. So this looks pretty good. The big question mark is Macedon. Macedon over here fighting by himself. And guys, you gotta think about the insane amount of micro going on for the pro player. He's microing against Macedon, doing cycle charges, managing his archers, timing the charges into the pikemen, making sure he doesn't run into pikes. At the same time, he's doing the same exact thing over at the breach point. At the breach point, he's doing the same thing, guys. So this is intense micro. He's doing a pretty good job too. Okay, this is not good. Nabatea has his archers in a great position. Great position. These are really good archers too. This is going to be a big problem. But they have a nice flank on the Germanic hurlers. And yeah, and see, like, his reaction is going to be slow because he's managing so much right now. And the pikes, let's see, what are the pikes down to? 91, so they've almost killed, you know, about half. Yeah, pretty much half of the unit. So they got to keep on going. There is a fresh tower that just spawned. Oh! Using the wall artillery. Look at this cheeky little play. Again, this is something that takes a lot of micro. And they're trying to go for this infantry that's flanked around, and they have to quickly send over support, and now the pikes are turning back. So let's see what happens here. But yeah, the infantry, the gate has no infantry defending it because he's having to fall back this infantry to deal with this tower that just landed. Now the Scorpion is opening fire. So he's got 2 different artillery pieces. What the heck? Scorpion just changed targets. I swear they were aiming over that way. But nonetheless, he's got two artillery pieces going at it as we speak. And now he's using the skirmish capability of his unit here. The armored Germanic swords. Trying to soften them up. But this is a big problem here. He's got his infantry. A little bit of a push through. A little bit of a push through here. This is, you know, this is noob players. This happens. I don't think it was intentional. It's just something that happens with newer players because they don't really realize what they're doing. And now the pikes are turning to face the main infantry fighting here. This is not good. He needs to get infantry over there to help out, but it almost feels like he's kind of abandoning this area. Now we've got pikes close. This is pretty cheeky here. We got pikes closing in on this side. Their backs are turned to some defending archers. So I think these pikes will be eliminated fairly quickly if they can do it, well, fairly quickly. So we'll see what happens there. Now a big tussle going on in the center still. They have the pro player, Crazy Carl, who is leading this team of defender, or I shouldn't say team, it's one player. But he is doing a pretty good job here. He has broken a lot of troops over in this center. But look at what's waiting. Look how many troops are still waiting to go through this breach. And the crazy thing is that if they just used these siege towers and got on the wall, they would overwhelm the defender here. Just completely overwhelm them. So we've got archers. Are they out of ammo? I don't think so. I don't know why they're not firing, but they are experiencing the wrath of Nabatea as they continue to shoot volley after volley into this Germanic archer unit, which is tragic to see. We do have more archers in reserve. Okay, so I think he was actually allowed 8 archers. I think that's what that means. 8 archers. Maybe 4 artillery or something. I don't know. It doesn't matter. He's allowed a decent amount of archers, which makes sense. Oh, this is a big problem. We've got some companion cav in the streets, and they could cause havoc if they can get behind the defenders. But they join the fight. Not a smart move. I think he should just run them around and look for archers to trample. But this plays to the strength of the defender. That's good for him to take on this cav in close combat like this, just stationary. There we go. Some units are breaking, but at the same time, the Germanic units are breaking as well. And now the Armenians are powering through. Again, I don't know if that might be a little bit of a push through. A little bit. But again, noob players, it's what you get. It happens. Here comes some fresh reserves. This is getting a little out of hand for the pro player. A little out of hand. But he still has plenty of reserves, guys. Plenty of reserves. He's mobilizing. He's moving his troops. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. This is not good. This companion cav is behind enemy lines, and there's nothing protecting the Scorpion. So I think he was allowed 4 artillery pieces. But this will be all for nothing. This Scorpion might be out of ammo. No, they're not. They're still firing. They had 221 kills before being destroyed. That's a pretty good amount of kills, but that is a bummer. He's got nothing defending his archers or his artillery. And over on this side, yep, these guys, I think what he's going to do is just try to exhaust as much ammo as possible before the artillery comes crashing in. And here they come. Man, that is a bummer. That's why I think it's good to have even just one unit of cav. Even a crappy unit that could just tie the enemy unit down while infantry show up to support. So there we go. That's a huge loss to the pros. So bad. I don't want to say it's the nail in the coffin, but you really have to be flawless when you take on 3 extra armies, when you're outnumbered by, you know, so many men. So yeah, that's a big loss right there. We'll see if he can recover, though. You never know what could happen. You never know. But we got the general closing in, companion cab. They're kind of down to 28 men. They could try to sneak an infantry unit over here while they're capturing to possibly take out the general, which would cause a huge morale loss for the attackers. But it doesn't look like he's going for it. He's just gonna give up the gate, and this infantry is just gonna be stationary now, getting shot at. But it's because he's microing at so many places. He's breaking a lot of Saba troops right now. And there we go. The towers are being used. Look at the chaos, the absolute chaos over here. And because of that, he's going to have to micro. He's going to send reinforcements. He's got to try to stop the bleeding. You notice his cycle charging tactics have really slowed down because he's fighting on a multi-front war. A multi-front war that is not going so hot. But it's still not over. Anything is possible if you just believe. You just have to believe. Over here, I really hope he does something with these units. I hope they don't just sit here. He's got to look over here. He's got to spot this. If he doesn't, we're in big trouble if you're rooting for the pros. And when I say pros, I mean pro. Because there's no S here. Just one player. More Saba breaking. Lots of Saba breaking, but they have so much infantry. But they are starting to run out. They are starting to run out. We can look at the tactical view. And it honestly, I mean, it's possible. It's possible. But here comes some cav going behind the back lines, harassing some infantry. This light infantry should be able to do some pretty good damage against these guys. They are down to 36, originally having 80 horsemen. There we go. They're starting to lose some horses there. So that's promising. Macedon is on the verge of defeat. He really is. I mean, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units, and 2 of them are archers, and the rest are depleted, including his general. So he could clean up Macedon, hopefully soon, and then he can take all of his victorious troops and shift them over to the center and reinforce the center. The archers are firing like crazy into that blob of invaders. 102 kills with this one. This unit here has 35, so they're just getting started, which is good to see. So they are firing and just going after, probably going after the breaking units. You want to try to get them to break and cause fear amongst the ranks, but there's, oh no, the archers. Oh, that's going to be tough. That might be pretty bad. That just might be pretty dang bad. Yeah, because you don't, if you could, I don't know. You got to get these, are these archers out of ammo? Most likely. You might just have to sit there and take it and just hope they run out of ammo soon. Oh, good hit on the general. The general now down to 11 men. He's chasing them down with the infantry. The Macedonian army is pretty much cooked. They've got 1 unit of Cretan archers. They have some Royal Peltas, and this cav unit is down to 10. Yep, good stand there by the archers. They've dealt with that cav. They can now focus on the rest of their war effort against Nabatea and Saba. This is getting very close, guys. Very close. He's just got to, now that things have kind of calmed down and he can focus back with a smaller section of the battle, maybe he can go back to doing cycle charging. I think he's going to have to do that. He's got to pull that off, the cycle charge. And here comes the general Trying to take the general out of here. Oh, the general is breaking a sword unit. There are archers. Oh, yeah, archers coming in. There we go. They're both breaking now. Good job there with the archers from the pro player. Get these slingers to just get these Cretan archers out of here. Nice little rally right there. You love to see it. Good use of the general. The general has almost 200 kills. He certainly will with that charge right there. Yet 203. Ugh. And he is slicing and dicing, guys. Slicing and dicing. So, are these hurlers, are they going to charge the companion? Okay, these guys are out of ammo. No longer a threat, really. No longer a threat. We've got archers over here that all three of the Nabatean archers opening fire at the archers of the pro player. And they are now exchanging fire. Look at that. A nice little archer battle going on. And it seems to be going pretty well for the defenders. They made them, if they're playing a game of chicken, Nabatea was the first to move. So look at this, guys. I mean, they might just pull this off. Now they got to watch their flank because we got noble swordsmen back here. They've got to rally their troops and try to protect. You cannot get flanked. These archers need to move too. You got to use them as infantry. I don't know. Just get them in the battle because they can't be sitting over here. You need every single soul from this defending army in the right position. And, oh, this is not good. This noble sword unit could cause... And this is another reason you probably want to get at least one unit of cav. You can maybe do some hammer and anvil on this noble swordsman unit.
Cut them down!
Oh, they have camels. Saba has camels. Oh, boy. But they did a great job. The Armenians are out. The Macedonians are out. Really, the biggest threat right now is Nabatea. They are the one with the strongest force. And Saba is still in the game, but they have also lost a considerable amount of troops. Here comes some reinforcements. Where is the general? Okay, he fell back the general. And we got reinforcements closing in. Excellent. They're breaking some troops. Oh, look at this. Fresh reserve. Okay, they're not fresh, but reserves. Charging in.
Back, warriors, back!
Amazing. A great struggle is unraveling right before our eyes. Obviously. Okay, here comes more infantry. They're going to try to pin the camels down so they can't be, you don't want them running around. Now the general needs to join the fight. We've got some swordsmen going around the flank over here trying to cut off Nabatea as they send up some Mediterranean swords or Nabatean swordsmen. Why did I think that said Mediterranean swordsmen? What? But now we've got these archers moving out of position. Curious, very curious. Are they going to... Do they have ammo still? That might be the case. They might try to go and hold this tower over here. And they're going to do some slinging. Possibly. But I'm looking around. Okay, good. More breaking here. Uh-oh. Big flank right here. This is going to sting. Nabatean sting. We're down to the last 2 minutes and 30 seconds of this battle replay. Oh, yes. Here comes the general. A desperate charge. A desperate charge. Trying to break, cause a chain route, something. But I'm looking around. We got to get this infantry. He's got to get all this infantry in the fight. All of it needs to consolidate and group up and hope that they can get a lucky kill on a general or something of that nature and cause a mass rout. There's a chance, but I think that if he loses his general here, it's over. They will not have the morale to fight on. What a cool fight this has been, though. What a cool struggle. The arrow tower's trying to get to... Oh, yeah. This flank has completely fallen. He's got 2 units holding back hundreds of troops. There goes the general. That's gotta be game right there. I just don't see them being able to come back from this. Losing the general, especially as a barbarian faction, I just don't think you can come back. So we'll see what he can do here. He's got his archers left. At this point, they're just going for kills, and they're going to try to make their defeat look as good as possible. You know, try to make this look as close as possible. Oh, the camels are going to sting. Yeah, they sting. They sting. And they're going to charge right into these archers. And there you have it, guys. That is going to be this battle. This was an insanely quick battle, considering that there was 5 armies on the battlefield in a siege. This was very quick, but very close too. He really just had 1 army left, which is Nabatea. If he had a few more troops, I think he could have won this battle. He really could have. So this was a great stand by the pro player. He gave it his all. The micro must have been insanely intense, as he was trying to keep up with like a 4-front battle. And it's tough. It's tough, especially in the more delicate situations when you're dealing with pikemen and you got to really micro that very carefully. It's tough. So let's end the replay. Look at the results. So he had, wow, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so he had a full 40 stack. So it's kind of like, so I don't want to say it's like a 2v4 because it's one player microing so many troops. So many troops. So this was really impressive. Well done by the pro player. Crazy Carl. He sent in the replay as well. I want to give them a huge, I want to give him a big thank you for submitting this replay. And I love these types of battles. I love these pro versus noob battles. They're so exciting. They're so fun, and they can be very competitive like this one. So GG to all the players that were present here. Really good stuff. I appreciate it. I appreciate the replay. And guys, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time on the battlefield.